Grace and peace be multiplied unto you. We are continuing our lesson on forces and energy. Today we'll be talking about forces and movement. Force, a push or pull. Force is the most commonly used word in everyday life. Let us consider a few examples. Example 1. Imagine you are going to school by bus. The bus has some trouble with its battery. Driver asks his staff to push the bus. What do the staff do? They apply force during pushing so that the bus starts. Example 2. Imagine that the door of your house is jammed, as it often happens in the rainy season. Your mother applies force to pull it so that it opens. But door does not open. She calls you for help. Both of you apply force to pull the door. If you carefully observe the above examples, you will notice that the word force is associated with either pull or force or push, which causes some kind of motion. Thus, in very simple terms, force is defined as a push or pull. The definition of force is defined as a push or pull. Types of forces. We have frictional force. Roll a rubber ball on the ground. What do you observe after a few seconds? Ride a bicycle. When the bicycle starts moving with a good speed, stop paddling. What do you observe? In case of rubber ball, it stops after moving certain distance. In case of bicycle, it slows down and then stops. In both cases, that is the rubber ball and bicycle, they first slow down and then stop. Now, we know that force can either slow down or stop the moving bodies. Therefore, some force must be acting on the rubber ball or bicycle which stops them. This force is called frictional force. It is produced when an object moves in contact with another object. In the above examples, the surface of the rubber ball or bicycle was in contact with the surface of Earth. The force which acts at the surface of contact when one body moves upon another body is called frictional force. So with frictional force, it helps things to stop. Okay. Uses of friction. We will not be able to walk or climb if there is no friction between the soles or of our shoes and the ground. Instead, we will slip. It is the force of friction which helps us to move in the forward direction. 2. It is the force of friction which holds nails and screws in the wooden furniture. 3. The writing on a paper with pencil or ball pen is possible on account of friction. 4. If there were no friction, anything that started moving would never stop. If there were no friction, anything that started moving would never stop. Elastic force, that's a type of force. Elastic force is the force that allows some motorists to return to their original shapes after being stretched or compressed. You will notice that the shape of a spring changes. Thus, a spring compressed when it is pushed. A force is also compressed when a weight is placed on it. This shows that weight is a force. Magnetic force. The force by which a magnet attracts objects of iron, steel, and cobalt is called magnetic force. The strange property of attracting iron or steel object towards itself is called magnetic property. The substance which has the above property is called a magnet. As the object of iron or steel move towards magnet, therefore, we can say that they are acted upon by magnetic force. Gravitational force. Whenever an object is dropped, it always falls towards the ground. For example, ripe fruits on a tree fall towards ground. A stone on the top of hill falls downward if pushed. Why can't this substance rise up? It is because the earth pulls all objects towards the center. The pull exerted by the earth on the object is called gravitational force. Even when we throw an object vertically upwards, it first slows down, then stops and finally pulls towards the earth. So gravitational force are the forces which pulls things up, which pulls things down. When you throw something into the air, it still what? Comes down. It is the earth, okay, which pulls all the things down to the center. So the process of pulling the things down to the center of the earth is known as the gravitational force. Effects of a force. From effect of force, we mean what force can do or what changes a force can bring about. 1. A force can move a stationary object. When a force is applied on a stationary object, it can make it move. For example, if you push a book placed on a table, it starts rolling. When you push a chair, it starts moving. So a force can move stationary objects. 2. A force can speed up of an object in motion. Imagine a cat puller pulling a cat up on a sloping road slowly. If you push the cat from behind, then the cat will stop moving fast. When a football player hits the moving ball, the ball starts moving faster. So a force can also speed up objects in motion. A force can change the direction of an object in motion. A football player changes the direction of the moving ball by angling his foot. Similarly, a cricket player hits the ball with bat. His force changes the direction of the ball. You can change the direction of the ball. You can change the direction of your bicycle by applying force on its handle on the right or left hand side. A force can stop a moving object or slow it. Imagine your friend is riding a bicycle. If you pull this bicycle from behind, it is going to slow down and may stop. Similarly, if you apply brakes to a running bicycle, it first slows down and then stops. 5. A force can change the shape of objects. Imagine a spring fixed in a wall with a nail. If you pull the spring, it gets stretched and hence its shape changes. Similarly, when you clamp a plain paper, its shape changes. By applying force, you can change the shape of paper or plasticine to any form. Effect of a force. Elastic force is a force that allows a motorist to return to their original shapes after being stretched or compressed. Compression force. Compression force occurs when a physical force presses inward on an object, causing it to become complicated. In the process, the position of the particles of the substance changes. The changes can be temporary or permanent. Examples of compression force are compressing and tensile force on a suspension bridge, compressing of a spring. An assignment will be sent to you. Try as much as possible to do it and submit it on time. Stay safe and stay blessed.